Explain Everything is a whiteboard app perfect for recording a quick lesson or recording how a process is completed, but it's also very useful for digital storytelling. To begin, launch Explain Everything from your iPad and choose the icon to build a new story. You will then be prompted to select a color template. Let's quickly look at some of the tools we have. The top icon is our Select and Move tool. Since we've got nothing on the screen to select, let's skip to the next one, which allows us to add additional pages or slides. Right now you see slide 1 of 1, but when I tap this icon, additional slides are added to my project. The next tool is for drawing, and if you tap and hold the pencil, you will also be able to adjust the width and pen tip type. You can change to different colors by choosing one of the defaults, or tap and hold any of those default colors to bring up more options. To get out of drawing mode, I can simply tap that select tool, and now I can manipulate my drawing. I can one finger drag to move, or pinch, expand, or rotate with 2 fingers to change the size and orientation of my drawing. The next tool is for drawing shapes or arrows. Tap and hold to choose the desired shape, and then draw. The A indicates a typing tool, and if you push and hold it, you will see options to adjust font style. The green plus icon allows you to add files, say from Google Drive, existing photos, videos, or sound files on your iPad, or you can take new pictures or videos with your iPad's camera. To delete an item, tap the red X and then tap the item you wish to remove. Confirm again by tapping that red X. This tool is a pointer that you can use during your recording, and tapping and holding it will bring up various pointer types. Tapping on the lowercase I and then on an object brings up options to change order, copy it, or lock the object so it doesn't move around during your recording. And finally, we have the wonderful undo tool, a zoom tool, and an option to collapse our toolbar. Now let's look at how we can use these tools for digital storytelling. As with any digital storytelling tool, you need to write your creative or expository work first, plan or storyboard how that will translate into slides or scenes, and then collect the media for each slide. Explain Everything works great for research and persuasive topics, but I'm going to use a creative story for this example. First, I'll use the plus or add tool to add a picture that I want to use as my background. I've already saved it to my camera roll, so I will choose existing photo or video and will tap on my picture to select it. Once I do, I'm given a chance to edit my image, but this one is fine as it is, so I will just tap done. I will resize the picture to fill my canvas by 2 finger stretching, and now I will tap the eye tool to set this as my background. I have storyboarded several scenes that are going to use this exact background, so I would like to duplicate this slide. I can do this by tapping the slide button, tapping and then briefly holding on the slide I wish to duplicate, and then choosing the 2 times option. I can also delete slides here, and I can re-enter this slide sorter view to tap and drag to rearrange my slide order. Now I will use the text tool to add a title for my first scene. And now I'm ready to move on to slide 2 to add some more visual elements for this story. I could record some narration right now, but I think I'm going to do that last. On slide 2, I need a carriage for my scene, which I've already collected, so again I'll use that plus button to add an item from my camera roll. But this time I do want to edit the picture. This dotted lasso-like tool lets me draw around the parts of the picture that I want to keep. And then tap that dotted line tool again to apply your action. Now I will tap done to add this picture to my project. I also need to add one of my characters, and I'll use a picture of my daughter from my camera roll to make her a character in this story. Again, I'll use the select tool to just choose the parts of this picture that I want. I am going to narrate this story, but I think I want to add some text to the slides as well, so it feels like a picture book. So I'm going to tap that A tool and paste in the text from my story. This text is really hard to read right now, so I'm going to use the rectangle tool to add a box that will essentially serve as like a text box or background. And again, I'll use that eye tool and tap my text so I can change the order. I'll bring the text to the front so that it shows on top of the rectangle. Now let me pause the video to add a few more elements, and then I will show you how to record your narration. When you're ready to add narration, simply tap the red record button and start talking. Start talking to record. Tap it again to stop recording. The length of that narration controls how long this slide is shown. I've recorded 9 seconds so far, so that's how long this scene will show before Explain Everything moves to the next slide. But I don't want to use that particular narration, but if I hit record again, you'll see that Explain Everything simply adds on to the audio that I've already recorded. So to replace it, I need to tap on the box where the time is indicated to bring up the narration timeline. That light gray area represents my existing narration, and I will tap on it and drag the gray area to the red line so that the red line is ahead of all of my existing narration. So now when I push the record button, I'm warned that my existing audio will be replaced, which is exactly what I want. But if not, I can move that red line to just about anywhere in the existing narration, and everything to the right side of that red line will be erased when I re-record. There are 2 audio tracks here, but I've not figured out how to add anything else like background music to the second track. You can add in music with this green plus tool and choose a song that lives on your iPad. But it comes into the project like this. I can manually play it and then record my voice over it, but I have not found this to be a very effective way to add background music because it's hard to control volume levels, and the music disappears when I go to the next slide anyway. When you're ready to record narration for your next slides, you just simply advance to those slides and repeat this process, recording narration slide by slide. But remember that when you tap the record button, Explain Everything is recording not just your voice, but also all of the actions on the screen, making this a really easy way to add animation to your story. I simply drag with my fingers to move or resize objects as desired to match my narration. You can use this button to save your project as you go. And when you're all done, you can use this tool to export your project to your camera roll, YouTube, or to Google Drive, which is ideal for students since the file can then be shared with a teacher or turned in through Schoology. To connect your Google Drive account, you need to go back to Home and then choose the gear icon, then the Accounts tab, slide Google to On, and then sign in with your credentials. My Explain Everything projects save right here, and I can reopen them to continue working and editing. Any new changes that I've made after I export will require me to re-export my project, say if I had already exported this to YouTube or Google Drive. So that's how easy it is to use Explain Everything for digital storytelling on the iPad.